Hello, my friends. I am so excited to share something with you. As I do coaching calls for coaching groups for emotional weight loss and healing, I get little snippets that are like the best of the best snippets for you. So I'm going to share them with you right here, right now. Now, the first snippet is something I have never shared anywhere. But to set the stage, I want to let you know, if you don't already know, because most of you do, you follow me because I am a type 2 expert with Carol Tuttle. What the type 2 means is that I'm an emotional person, experience the world emotionally. So putting a downer on emotional eating didn't make sense to me. Once I was like, wait a second, emotional eating is what I do, so how do I make it a positive experience? So I'm going to tell you how I made this a positive experience. And it was so tender to me that when I shared it, the room cried. So I hope it touches you as it touched me. So as I go about experiencing food, I have found that as I have radically changed my diet, some people would reject me as a person because of the way I chose to eat. And some people loved me. Actually, the very people at church would reject me, while the people who I didn't attend church with, who attended a different denomination or just didn't attend at all, loved me for my eating. Isn't that interesting? So I became very familiar with this whole process. And people who would accommodate my new diet were deep friends to me, because I felt very much loved by their efforts to accommodate my diet. Over the years, I've found more and more foods have to be removed from my diet, which makes it more and more difficult. Which is why I also love being a Disney travel agent, because the Disney chefs are phenomenal at accommodation. So I digress. Because of this, I could look at food and I would say, what can I possibly cook for myself that I could eat today? What am I going to cook for my family? Coming up with ideas is not the easiest thing in the world. Well, there was one day I was reading this book by Louise Hay called Heal Your Heart. And she's having lunch with the co-author of the book. And the co-author mentions how Louise would take food and you could just see gratitude all over her face while she was eating these bites of food. So I thought about that and I was like, I wonder if I could feel that much gratitude before eating. Now, this is all outside of saying the Lord's Prayer and blessing your food before you eat. Blessing your food becomes a very rote thing. The same words, quickly get through it so I can consume my food. I wanted to feel all that gratitude in my heart as I was eating. So I decided to put it to practice. And sometimes I'm really good at it and sometimes I am not. But when I'm really good at it, I feel it deeply. So the story goes, the first time I used this was 10 p.m. at night. And I sat up in bed really fast and I was like, I didn't cook the sourdough. And if I don't cook it, it will fall by morning. Now, those of you who are familiar with sourdough, it became a massive thing in 2020 because the yeast ran out in the stores. Sourdough is a long process. It's a process of love. It doesn't take a lot of physical labor, but it's a lot of waiting and timing all that waiting. And so I had realized that the bread had risen all day and it was ready to be baked. And I needed to do it before going to bed, which means that I wasn't going to be going to bed till probably midnight by the time the oven heated up, I'd steamed it properly, and then I put my sourdough baguettes in. So I cook these baguettes, I pull them out of the oven. And I really wanted to eat some. Now, mind you, I don't eat bread. I eat a small piece once a week, if that. And any more than that, I just start to feel a little bloated, and it's just not a pretty picture, right? So, and not even gluten-free bread at this point. I don't eat either. But I looked at this bread, and I was like, I want to eat some. So I imagined that I had a divine mother who stayed up to make this bread for me because she loves me. And because she was serving it with so much love, it would only do my body healing. Now, granted, I also employ kinesiology and muscle testing when I eat my food, because I need to know especially if I'm in a restaurant environment, if the food has the things in it that I can't consume and I will get a stomach ache. And so I ate this bread and I savored every bite, and I loved this bread, and I ate it with all that gratitude because somebody made it for me. Now, granted, a lot of that is in my head, right? It's in my imagination. But what if it was my divine self doing my best to feed me? Can I accept that with the same level of gratitude? Absolutely. A second time this happened, these were just the first two experiences. I've had more since then. I came down to a breakfast or a dinner that my husband had made, and I sat down and I looked at the food and I waited till I could feel all that gratitude just consume my chest and start to radiate through my body. And so sometimes I have to create things in my head for that. And for me, it was gratitude that my Heavenly Father, my God, prepared this food with my husband's hands. And he made it for me, to which I can be extremely grateful for. And he waited till that filled my soul, and then I ate my bite. And it's changed the experience of eating food. It's changed the experience of emotional eating. Emotional eating is good. It's good now because it's done on purpose. Now, I will share with you that same sourdough bread that I ate late at night all by myself, experiencing this divine connection with my food in a super quiet house because everybody was asleep. The next morning I woke up and I was like, would it be supportive for me to eat this bread today? And my gut was like, So I heated it up anyway and I took a bite and I was like, you're right. The gratitude experience is no longer there because it's not supportive for me to eat it today. So it's all missing. And so I let go. And I didn't eat that bread that morning. And I didn't have any of the bread for the rest of the time that bread was available, simply because the emotional experience of gratitude was gone, and I could now apply it to the food that was there that day that was much more supportive to my body and for the healing connection that food can have for our bodies. So special, so amazing, and so connecting. So I leave this on my Facebook channel, on my Instagram channel, on my YouTube channel, because it can be a teaser. But this video for Forever to See is going to be in my course. It's in the course that Steve and I created. And I offered it, actually, the support group of emotional weight loss last year for free. And I had some people take me up on that. It's not free anymore. It costs about $60 to join. You'll get the course and the membership to the community for that price if you want to join. And that's where you can access all these calls, all these emotional coaching, and all these nuggets that are just there for like the taking. Because when each person comes to the table and brings an experience and says, but I know this content and I'm still stuck. Well, let's experience that and let's find out why. And I did not expect to share this experience. I expected to experience it myself for more months before sharing it. But it became critical to share last night to unstick people. Eating for an emotional purpose is good if you have the right emotions involved. And the emotion of gratitude is critical. So, my friends, enjoy your food. But feel it first. Every last bit of feeling. For example, when I say my prayers now, I don't just start speaking words. I wait till I can feel the prayer in my being. And then I speak the words that my feelings have created. Because far too often, prayers to heaven are just rote. They're just a repeat of the same phrases we say all the time, and there's no feeling behind them. And it's important to connect with all those feelings. So from my type 2 heart to your heart, have a wonderful experience with your food today.